Welcome to Recast and Rise, the podcast for performers and creatives ready to explore what's next. You'll hear inspiring stories of artists who reinvented themselves and found new careers after the stage. Let's recast and rise. Caroline, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Bonjour. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast. You are a Cirque du Soleil performer here in Las Vegas. You are also a realtor. So you are juggling both. So before we talk about your career transition, can you tell us about what you do as a performer?
So I am a flyer on the boat at O. So for people who have not seen the show, I hang from a really big guy and he throws me and swings me and catches me. And so I'm a flyer. On the O show, I've been with the company it's been 22 years this year. So I'm one of the veterans. I started as a gymnast and a diver. I was a national team diver for Canada, Canadian junior champion on the 10 meter, 2001, I think, or 2000. Anyways, and then I came when I was barely 21 to Las Vegas, and I never left. I ran away with the circus and never left. So to this day, I'm still a performer. There's been lots of movement in my circus or performing career, but yeah, we're still doing it. We're still here.
It's incredible that you are able to juggle both.
I've always been very thirsty for knowledge. Like I always wanted to learn more, and I've tried a lot of different things, and I was like, meh, not that, not that. And would try a lot of things. So believe it or not, I started college back in Canada I don't know how it would translate in English, but it was like analytical chemistry. Like I wanted to work in a lab because I have this weird OCD where I like doing like manual little like things, and didn't really love it in the end. I was like, no, this isn't for me. I ran away with the circus back then and came here, and then I studied journalism at UNLV. And also it was a lot to go to school, and a lot of people do it and I admire them. It's hard to do the show and study full time. And back then I did 2 semesters. But the good thing is it really perfected my English. English isn't my first language. You will hear it in there if you haven't figured it out. English isn't my first language. So doing the journalism kind of took my English to another level where I can really kind of express myself a lot better. My vocabulary got a lot better, but journalism wasn't it. It taught me a lot of things, and I'm forever now grateful for ChatGPT for, writing. But for me, before ChatGPT, that really helped me, sounding professional and writing nice emails. And so this was one part of it, but then, kept going, and I was like, yeah, this isn't it. And then I took event and conference management certificate at the International School of Hospitality here in Vegas, which was a wonderful experience. I learned so much, and I still I think will use this skill at some point in my future career. And I feel like I still kind of do in my day-to-day life. I just didn't continue clearly in the path of like event planning, but I still have the knowledge and I still have that under my belt. But did that and worked for a company called the Water Beauties. It's an entertainment company that you can hire synchronized swimmers for your events. And so I was doing marketing for them and event planning and social media. And this led me to another thing. I did an internship for a social media firm. And so I learned a ton about social media. I was kind of like at the beginning of social media. And I feel like nowadays we've evolved a ton and it's growing really fast, especially now with AI. But again, learned a ton then. So it's just like this crazy thirst for like, what's my thing? What do I like? And I feel like all of the skills that I've acquired throughout the year are all useful in some way or another for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And so then I got pregnant, and I had about a year off. When you're performing and you're pregnant, as you know, you have some time off because you can't do the show. So I was at COB back then, and there's a lot of harness, and so you kind of go out of the show rather quickly. So I had all this time, and I was like, what am I going to do? So I took a woodworking class, and I took a sewing class just because I love learning, like I said. And then I took my real estate exam because I had bought a condo, made it all cute, sold it, my ex-husband had a house. We kind of flipped his house and then sold it. And then we bought a house. We kind of flipped that one. And then we bought a rental and we kind of flipped it. And I was like, well, maybe we can, I watch too much HGTV too, but I was like, maybe we can like flip houses and like, I'll sell them and, we don't need to use an agent and I'll just um, do that. It was just kind of another of my crazy ideas. And so I got my license but then I had a baby and a full-time job and it was just like, I don't have time. I don't have time for this. It was just a crazy time in my life. But then this was in 2017. So had my baby, had my other job at O's still, but just kept paying the fees to be a realtor. There's a lot of fees to be allowed to open these lock boxes. um, but I just kept paying the fees, and then pandemic happened. Everybody remembers that, and all the shows closed. And the company went almost bankrupt, and well, it did go bankrupt, and then in blah blah blah. There was a lot of uncertainty, and I was like, wait a minute, I have a license. So then I was like, this is the perfect time. Like I was unemployed, so I had unemployment and the shows were out and I had all this time on my hand. So I decided to dive in head first and give it my all. And I fell in love with real estate as, I feel like realtors are really for a reason. I also feel this way about realtors, even though I'm a realtor, but they can be really salesy and salespeople. And, um, I had this preconceived idea that I'm not one of those people. I'm not a salesperson. This is not what I do. But then I fell in love with you're really just helping people achieve their dream of buying a house or helping them sell their home because of X, Y, and Z. And so it's a lot more helping than selling, if that makes sense. So my marketing background from back then, like kind of helped with that. My event planning for like open houses or events with clients, like all of it just kind of like stormed together. And English, writing emails and writing descriptions and doing all of this, it all came together and I really fell in love with it. I mean, granted, I have an amazing boss and an amazing team. I work for the Brendan King Group. Here's my name dropping,
That's
but
right.
we have an amazing team and none of us on our team are like these really salesy people, like with the big cars and the big, flashy outfits. We really just love helping people. And I really, really love working with them, for them. So that's been the journey to get here. So, okay, fast forward a year, the show reopened, and I was kind of in this crossroad where I was like, well, I'm doing really well in real estate. Real estate is crazy. Back in 2021, interest rates were really low. So everybody was like buying, buying, buying. So it was a crazy time. And I didn't want to let go of that because I had worked so hard to get there. I was finally like in a good place where I was like, I know what I'm doing now. I've finally like gotten the gist of it. But the shows are opening and I still love performing. So what do I do? And I decided to go for it. And so it's been 4 years now that I am doing both. So I perform at night until 11 and I do real estate during the day when my daughter's at school and I mommy in between. Yeah. So it's a lot. Yeah,
What a
career.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah, what a journey. But this is all of it.
So much to unpack. I hear, of course, a lot of things. But it's also to while you're performing, while you were in the show, you tried a lot
Yeah,
of things. You went to school, and I think to do that, obviously, you need to be good at managing your time because obviously we know 10 shows a week is a lot.
yeah,
So managing your time, being able to make sure that you stay healthy with your body, that you sleep enough, but also you go to school. So it's a lot. So it needs a lot of discipline, which
yeah,
performers or artists, we do have that.
yeah,
But you're a
yeah.
really good example of
Thanks.
if you want to do something, you put the time and you put your mind into it, and it is possible. And yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a beautiful experience. I feel so lucky. I'm sure you feel so lucky to have been a part of it. I'm still feel so lucky to be a part of it. But I have seen so many people get the rug pulled under their feet and not having anything get ready. And that's been one of my biggest, I don't want to say fear, but just like, I need something else, like here I am in my and I didn't finish college, like I just said. I have these little certificate. I don't really have. I'm not a doctor. Let's just put it this way. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. Um, and I just always feared not being ready, and um, also I wanted to find what was my next thing. Like, I wanted to find my next passion. I didn't want to be like left with like, "Oh, I guess I'll just do that. I'll just work for," like, I wanted my next passion. So I've been like, what is it? What is it? And I think I found it.
Yes, yes, you did. And also, I think it's very important. You're not ready to transition just yet. You are still performing.
I'm
And
still performing. Yeah.
yes, so it's also, I think it's important for all the artists out there that are not quite ready to transition and to find another career, even though they know that it's coming. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. And to continue to navigate both and to explore while
Yeah.
you're still performing. That's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yep.
think you'll know when you're ready. Every year I think I'm like, "Ugh, one more year. One more year.
Mhm.
One more year." But like, my body's still able to do it. I still enjoy doing it. So
You're incredible. You
so
are
we're
so
still doing it.
incredible. You're we're still doing it. Quick pause. If you are wondering what's next, visit my website and download my workbook with 10 prompts to jumpstart your career change. You can also send me a message. I'd love to connect. Now back to our chat. What is the hardest part about transitioning out of performing? You are not quite out. Obviously, you are still performing. But what would you say is one of the hardest thing to transition out of performing?
Well, this year I had some health issues, so I was out of the show for 4 months, unfortunately, for some health issues. And I kind of got a taste of what my life would be like without um, the performing side of things in my life, and um, it's just such a unique space, and I think everyone that's been at Cirque du Soleil can attest to that. It is such a silly job. Like, not the on stage part, but like off stage. You get to hang out with 60 of your friends every day in the dressing room, like just being silly, being this, and I think it's the social part. I think for me, obviously I love my family and I have a lot of friends, and I will make an effort, but everyone has a life, right? Like, you're busy, you have kids, you're doing your thing, and like once in a while, oh, let's grab a glass of wine or something. But to be able to sit every day with your friends and be silly and talk while you're doing your makeup and just goof around, and like, the social part of that life is the hardest for me to give up. And like I said, of course I'll see my friends once in a while and we'll have a glass of wine, but it's not the everyday. And real estate, although you get to meet a lot of people, you're alone a lot of the time in your car, prepping the things, doing all your work on your computer. So it's a very lonely kind of job. So yeah, I think that's the part, the social interaction with everybody. Also, disclaimer, I hate working out. And
Yeah.
I I know that when and my shows are my workout. Like, we do 10 shows a week and we work out like so hard doing the show that I know that when I leave, I'm going to have to be more disciplined and better at like this health side of life that I'm just so it's been
We take
23
for
years.
granted. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been a gymnast since I was 6 years old. So really my entire life um I didn't have to drag myself to the gym and do this. Like, this was my sport, my job, and that's just what I did, Like, I like
Yeah.
showed up
Yeah.
to the diving or gymnastics and they were like, "You do 100 of these," and I did 100 of these. Like, I didn't have to think. And so yeah, I think that's going to be also hard to transition into real life where you're like, "Oh no, I have to do it because it's healthy."
Exactly.
Boring.
Boring. Bah, bah. What kind of people did you need to circle yourself around? And what kind of people are you grateful you had?
Um I'm gonna name drop again, but Brennan
Yep.
King. Brennan King
Yep.
is a huge. Um, um, I admire him very much as much as a family person, as a boss, as a mentor. Um, I think real estate, a lot of people try to do. Very few succeed, and I attribute all my success to having a good mentor and working under him. Like, it's been incredible, and I've learn from the best, they say. But yeah, you really need to have that. I think in every job, you need to have someone like nobody really knows what they're doing when they're starting. Like, even if you go to school for, you're a doctor, well, you show up your first day and you don't know what you're doing. And then somebody teaches you and you get so much better. But it takes that one person. And that one person for me was that. And also, Brendan was a performer at Love um, now 10 years ago. But so he went through this. He knows what I'm going through. And we talk about it all the time that like I have a hard time pulling the plug and like making the decision because I love it so much. But he's like, I've been there, like I was in your shoes and he gets it. So that's a person that I thank my success
Yeah.
for.
And
Thank you,
it takes
Brendan.
thank you, Brendan King. And it takes a village to be able to do the shows at night, but
Yes.
also study. And especially when you had your daughter. Um,
Yeah. It takes a village and it takes um yeah, like it's not easy. They say you make your own schedule in real estate. It's like, yeah, in theory, this sounds great. It also means you're working at crazy hours. I've written contracts in bed at midnight because during 2020 and 2021, if you didn't get in your offers by this time, it was multiple offers and all offers in by before 11:30. So you're like in bed, like everyone's sleeping, and you're like, doing your contracts. And then you're doing showings up until 7, 8 p.m., like
on
sometimes
weekends,
on
on
weekends, like
holidays.
any day. So it's organizing yourself, organizing your schedule, having a babysitter. I've brought Maya, my daughter, with me
Yeah.
on showings and sections, like things like that. So, you make it happen. I think, just make it happen.
You mentioned that a lot of people were in the real estate world try to be a realtor. Not everyone succeed. What would you say makes you a successful realtor? What qualities? So if someone would like to be a realtor, what kind of qualities should they have?
Um, I think just listening to people. I think a lot of people try to sell things, and I have done a my words, quite a fair amount of showings that never panned out. I am not afraid to do things even if I know they're not, I'm not getting money out of it, or helping a friend if I'm not getting anything out of it. Just listening to people and what they need. And um, I think that pays off, and people remember that they don't feel like I'm trying to sell them a house. It's like, you don't like this house, I get it. It backs up to a street, it has this, that, X, Y, and Z. I don't think this is a great house for you. I think they appreciate the honesty. So I think that's just a quality that I have. I have a lot of repeat clients. I have a lot of referrals from my old clients, and I think that speaks for itself. Um, if people are happy, they'll use you again, or they'll send you their friends, their family, and so and so. Also, I think technology, like, you know, I I will admit I am a terrible cold caller. I hate calling on the phone. I'm not this kind of person. And our team uses a lot of, we pay for a lot on online ads and online leads and things like that. I'm not going to tell you all of our secrets, but like we use technology a lot. So I think that kind of helps us as a team. Thanks, Brendan, again. Uh, but yeah, I think that's just a difference. And just being really thorough, being really helpful. Like, I don't know how many clients I've sent like a list of parks because they have kids once they close. Like, oh, you have a kid, you should try this place, the Discovery Museum, and go there and try this, and just go out of your way to make the experience for them. They're brand new. They came from California. They don't know anything. So you should try this restaurant. Go over there. There's a nice park over there. I think you'd like this neighborhood. Do you like biking? Oh, you would
Oh,
like this neighborhood. Do you like, so and so? Are you an outdoorsy? Oh, you don't know. Like, okay, I think you would prefer this place. Like, getting to
100%.
know people. Yeah.
Yes, especially if I can think of if I need to relocate, you need someone that not only help you find a house, but guide
Yeah.
you. Okay, what neighborhood? Where
And
do you think I
yeah.
should go? So you are the person that helps with that.
But some people's, I think there's a lot of different, the realm of people is like this big, and like, I would say 75% of people don't care about how much a house costs per square foot. The data that's like really like important. They care about, is it a good school district? Can I walk places? Are there parks? Is it safe? Is it safe is like one question. I can't even answer that question, but it's the number one question that people ask. And then I send them the crime report like websites. But a lot of people then, or 20, I would say 25% of the people are like, houses like this much per square foot. What about this? What do you think of the comps? And like, this is where I'm like I'll study them. I know them, not by heart. I don't know what, you know, 89148 price per square foot. Like, I don't know this data as much.
But when it comes to helping them with the quality of life and
Yes,
where they should go,
absolutely.
that's
And if
your
they need that
strength.
data, I find it for them later. But like,
Yep. Yep.
75% of the people, they don't care about this stuff. So it's like more about being a good
Totally.
human and being like listening.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. What would you change if you would have to change your career path? What would Caroline do right now?
Really much, to be honest. I'm really
Isn't
happy.
it a great feeling? Isn't it a great feeling when you're like, actually, I'm quite happy.
I am.
Yes.
I really wouldn't. I feel like I've jumped ship when I needed to. I've done all the things that I wanted to do when I don't know, like and I'm still learning, and I forgot a piece is I just recently got my mobile notary license. So I'm going to be I don't have it yet, so hopefully they give it to me. But I passed the exam, I submitted all the papers, so I should receive it soon. But like to be able to take the experience of real estate, not for my clients because I can't do that, but like for uh other clients, like be able to take the experience even further. Like I can go to their house or they can come in our office. I can do the signings and yeah, just keep learning. Again, like one more thing. Like held my hands, I've held my clients' hands 100 times like, while they were signing their documents for buying a house. So I'm really familiar with the documents. I know what every document is in this pile. So why not make it another branch of the career? So we just keep growing.
I was really excited to have you on the podcast because I know all the things you've done throughout the years while performing. And you are really an example that pivoting a million times, well, a million times is a little bit too many, but a lot of times to find what you love. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to do that and giving and allowing yourself to do that. And it's not failing. I reinvented myself a million times. And for
Yeah,
me
you as
was
well.
like I would not judge myself, but I would yes, are some moments where
Like, you
I
can't
would
do
tell
that, or
myself
you, like
again, oh, come on,
yeah,
push through. You'll get to it. And sometimes it's just not it's okay to pivot and to realize it's not for you, and you've done that, and it's so inspiring. It's
and
so
to
great.
try a path, like, like I said, like event management, and it wasn't like, I still love to organize events, and I think that's still something I like, but I didn't go this path. But I use those skills so much in everything that I'm doing, and, like I said, the English from the journalism class, the this and so, like, don't be afraid to try, and you have all your daytime. Like most performers perform at night, so you have your whole day to like, I do miss the days where I was just like laying in my pool and I didn't have to think about anything until 6 p.m. I'm like, but it's this like internal thirst for wanting to do more for me was more important. But yeah, use that time, like, and don't wait until you're 40 to like, oh, what else do I want to do? Like, no, like it comes quick because we're having so much fun, but it creeps up. And um, yeah, you never know. You never know that if there's another COVID around the corner. You never know if anything can happen. So you just gotta like, be prepared.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to ask you what advice would you give to someone that is ready to transition or at least is thinking about it, and you just said it. Yeah,
Yeah, just do it
yeah.
before it's the end. Like, okay, I think next year I'm not gonna sign, but you don't have anything. Like, do it like 3, 4 years before you wanna like exit. It's
Yeah.
again, it might not be the first thing that you try. It might be the third thing, fifth thing, and you might meet someone and then you get like just try. And
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add about anything at all, career change related, or even your life as a performer?
no, I just hope that yeah, I'm in the transition right now where I'm deciding if I'm doing one more year, like at this very moment. So, if we film this next week, maybe I would have a different speech, and, stay tuned. Maybe we'll have a little update. Um, but it's really hard as we grow old. It is such a, um, that feeling of performing is such a unique thing, and I wish I could do it forever. And it makes me really sad thinking that once I leave, I'm 42 at the moment. Like once I leave, it's pretty much it. Like I'm not performing again. So it's really hard. So I understand. I understand everyone going through this, but it's what is the expression? It's like, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Well,
Oh,
this is exactly how I feel about Cirque du Soleil, like, I mean, or cry if you want because it's over, but really smile because it happened, because it's a very unique and, um, yeah, a unique experience. And even if, lots of people, and I don't want to get into this side, but like lots of people leave with a bit of negative because sometimes the career was cut short and they weren't ready, and like the rug was pulled in. But that Cirque du Soleil name on your resume for the rest of your life will take you so much further than you think. Like for us, because we're all used to it. All of my friends have been there, so it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal outside of um, the city, really, because in Vegas, it's like
yeah.
we're so used to it. Cirque du Soleil, but it's a big deal, and it will take you so many places. So be really grateful that you've made it. It's in there, and it's in there forever. It's like people that go to the Olympics. You're an Olympian forever. So I kind of compare it to that.
What a beautiful way to end our chat.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
me.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you like the story, make sure to share it with a creative friend. Subscribe to this podcast and write a review so more people can access the tools shared on this platform. Follow me on my socials for more tips and tricks to navigate your career change. Until next time, I will see you in the next episode.